Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome on the Culture News. My name is David Serero, and I have the pleasure to have today over the phone a very, very, very talented woman. She is a phenomenal singer, a writer, also a music producer, and an actress. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm of course talking of the super talented Janelle Arthur. Ladies and gentlemen, how to describe Janelle is very, very hard because she's not only a very talented singer, but she's starring on a great movie that I invite all of you to go to run to see, and it's called Running from My Roots. But this is one thing that Janelle is not doing, is that she's not actually running from her roots, because she is definitely bringing out what she does best, which is making people happy and deliver great quality music. And her performance in that movie is absolutely stunning. Let me spell it for you, Janelle Arthur. Janelle Arthur. I'm sure you know how to spell it. I invite all of you guys to go on YouTube and right away to check the trailer of that wonderful movie, Running from My Roots. Of course, again, if you are driving, do not watch the trailer and drive the same way. We don't want to be sued by you guys. But also go to check it right after. Ladies and gentlemen, as promised, I have today the one and only, right before we're going to play Running from My Roots exclusively to Down My Heart Radio, the very talented Janelle Arthur. How are you today, Janelle?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm so happy to have you over the phone. How do you do to be so talented? How do you do that? Can you explain? Is there a recipe? What do you eat in the morning?
Goodness. I guess it's just God-given, and thank you for saying that.
It's just God-given. This is so unfair to us. You know, I thought you would have at least a recipe. I thought you would tell me, well, in the morning I eat 2 eggs. Then after I eat coffee, then I exercise for 20 minutes, something that at least maybe a guy like me who has zero talent is not only I have zero talent, I'm minus number, like I'm minus 400% of talent. To be zero would be already great. So maybe a guy like me
Everyone
has
has
hope.
a talent. Everyone has talent. It's just different. Everyone has a different strength, that's for sure.
You're so kind. You're so kind. So, first of all, Janelle, before we start to talk about this great movie, Running from My Roots, before we start to talk about this great eponym track, Running from My Roots, which we're going to play right at the end of this interview, plus before we play the song and at the end of the interview, we have a little surprise. You will see who it is, a wonderful, mysterious guest who is waiting for us over the line. On the line, very, very amazing woman that you all need to know. So first of all, I want to know, Janelle, where are you from and how did you start music in the first place?
Well, I'm originally from Oliver Springs, Tennessee, and that is over in East Tennessee, kind of close to where Dolly Parton is from. I got into singing really just because I was singing from the time before I could even talk. And my mom realized that, I had such a passion. My parents just realized I had such a love for music at such an early age, and then I started singing and got my first job professionally when I was 8 years old, and so I've just continued to do it ever since, and it's all that I want to do. So,
and we're so glad that your path leads you to where you are. So now tell us about how the whole project of Running from My Roots was brought to you, because not only, you are the lead actress of that movie, but also I feel that you somehow connected also with the story of the character, or you played it that well that we feel that, which I'm sure is the case. But also you also did the music and you wrote the song. And I'm sure you wrote the song for the movie. Yes. Can you tell us how that project was brought to you?
Well, I actually got the call from who you're going to be speaking with later, Gabrielle Evans Fields. So I got the call from her, and I think that from what I understood, she had seen me. She and our director and also the writer of this film had seen me on American Idol. And they had contacted a friend of mine who's a fabulous actress, and her name is Terry Minton, and Gabrielle, I think, had a conversation with Terry, and Terry gave her my contact information because they were interested in having me as the lead role in this film. So it was very it came out of nowhere, really, for me. I'm a singer-songwriter here in Nashville, and I had pursued acting when I was younger, but it had been a while since I had really put any eggs into that basket, if you will. I had definitely been focusing on my singing and songwriting for many years, and so I got the call, and whenever I read the script and knew that people like Dina Carter and Lee Allen Baker and all of these different people who were involved in this film, once I knew all of that, I just thought, how can I turn this down? So I couldn't turn it down, and I was so thankful that I went for it. It was a huge risk for me, and I'm just glad that it all worked out and that I got to meet and work with such wonderful people.
Well, you definitely did the right thing, and you mentioned someone that I never heard about, which is Gabrielle Evans. I'm just kidding. Of course, we're going to talk to her right after, and she is the wonderful guest that we have. What an amazing woman! I'm so honored to talk to her also right after. A couple of one or two more questions, if you don't mind. So, to tell us about that story, Running from My Roots. Just the name means a lot of things. Just running from my roots. What that song represents for you?
Well, I had a conversation with a friend on the phone, and as a songwriter, you're always looking for these hooks, as we call them. And we were having a deep conversation, as we always do. And I was talking about how people, so often, we don't, sometimes we just try to get away from really our raising and the things that we know, that we should be proud of. And we sometimes are embarrassed by that or whatever. And I was talking about, how people, they're just running from their roots or, running from their roots. And I said, wow, I've got to write that song. And so I ended up writing it, in a songwriting session with, Jeff Hodge and Stephen Paul. And it was the first time we had ever written together. And, so we wrote this song and we were all so proud of it, but we never, would have thought it would have been the title track of a film. And so, this song is really, a story that I think everyone can relate to. And then it was interesting that, I got the call about the film because once I read the script, I was supposed to sing a love song at the end of the movie. And I thought, wow, I actually have a song that fits the entire storyline, not just a love song, but it fits exactly what this character went through, in her journey. So, I was like, wow, I need to pitch this to, our director. I sent it, to Nancy Chris over, on my phone. And she said, wow, that has to go at the end of the movie. The film was called Take Two for Faith at that time. Into the editing process, they contacted me and said, I think it was Gabrielle that called me up and said we would really like to name the movie after the song. And so that was really cool. So it really just was so perfect to go with the movie and the storyline. But I had written it 4 months before I even got the call. So it's so interesting how you can do things and you don't even realize the purpose at the time until later.
And definitely, there is a God, who can bring wonderful people such as yourself, such as our dear friend Gabrielle, and all the people involved with this movie and your talent to bring, all these wonderful elements. So now I think we need to talk to our dear friend, who is waiting very, I would say, with all her passion and her wonderful grace. Of course, I'm talking about our dear friend Gabrielle Evans Fields. Gabrielle, are you with us?
Yes, I am. And Dave, you don't have to. I love you for this, but I'm just a producer who got a script and like she was saying, went to Terry Menton, who's a wonderful actress out of Tennessee, and she was telling me a lot about Janelle. So it was already kind of in my head, but honestly and humbly, I'm a film producer, no different than any of the other ones who just got a script. We modified it. We added our cast. And it's people like Janelle who were so perfect for the part. Like she said, the song was written 2 months before we even contacted her. So we knew that there was going to be some connection. But it's the cast. It's people. When a cast connects on a project, she steps in front of that camera, and it's so natural to her, and especially on a 14-day shoot. So thank you so much for all those kind things that you said. But really, it's really when it comes down to it, it's always about the cast. And Janelle is wonderful, talented, and you know what? She just got started. So, really talented.
We have absolutely, we have absolutely no doubt about that. And on top of that, Gabrielle, not only you're a hard-working woman, you are an amazing person, but on top of that, you are humble, which really is pissing me off so much because I'm trying to be arrogant, to feel big, and then I realize that actually the more important the people are, the more humble they are. So I have to now play the other way. So I have to change all my techniques,
Well, I mean, and it can get, there's what we call, producers, which in the film industry, we go, you've got your branding, your cigar, and, go talk to the town. You got this.
Exactly.
That says, hey, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to give it my all. And give it my all. But you know what? I'm not going to take the glory out of all this because, it's people like Janelle who brought it.
No, my dear, I respectfully disagree with you. You must take the glory also of it. Of course, it's a group effort, but you are also very renowned casting director on top of being a renowned producer. And you have the appreciation of talent, and bring people together.
Right.
And you see before everyone, the director. When the director he has a script, and you will envision the face of a character. People have no idea. Like without casting directors, there wouldn't be any Robert De Niro. There wouldn't be any Al Pacino. It's them that really sometimes vouch for the director. It's them who, say, look, I know this is not what you're looking for, but you should look at this guy or this girl. I really think he would be great. I'm sure that happened many, many times. So we owe to you, and actually, let's say hello to all the casting directors around, which I know a lot of them are listening to the show. So we say hello to a lot of them. But one thing. Go ahead, my dear. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, on the producing side of things, I mean, that is our goal, is to get, every script and load it up with cast and make sure the cast connects. And this is exactly what happened on the set of Running for My Roots. This cast stayed together, they cooked together, they sang together, they have so many behind the scenes things and just connecting. Wow. And then it took us 2 years, and then they reconnected just the other day in a red carpet.
Wow.
Great. And, it's things like that as the casting director, producer, whatever title, none of that means anything to me. But what matters to me is that they connected and they brought it to the screen. And that's why this is such a great little project, a film. Running for My Roots, we want everyone to see it. But it takes someone like Janelle who's never stepped in front of a camera. How do you do that? You got this singer from Nashville, and I love her voice, and we're like, well.
Gabrielle, she has a secret. She just doesn't want to tell us. I'm sure it's something that she eats in the morning, some vitamins. We will find out. I sent already 2 detectives to find out what she's eating in the morning, what she's drinking, because there must be a secret. There's no way, you can be that talented and do such a great job. Yeah, what I want to say is that from an audience point of view, when I watch the trailer and read about all this great movie, which all of you should definitely check out. It's called Running from My Roots, running with an apostrophe at the after running. Running from My Roots is that from the very first seconds, you can feel that you're not filming actors, but you're filming a family working together. And that comes also from the wonderful surrounding that you did as a producer, the environment, but also from the wonderful actors also. So now tell me, I want to see that movie. What can I do?
Okay, well, it's going to be released nationwide December the 11th, and you can get it exclusively only at Walmart. It's a DVD, and also we're going to be presenting it to different, at least a television deal, which is going to show up on TV. We just don't know where right now. We're making that deal. We want it to be a good fit. The soundtrack and the single is available on iTunes, which we just hope everyone goes and sees what we're talking about. It's an amazing song, it's an amazing soundtrack. It was produced by the Grammy-nominated Nina Carter, who's another amazing human being. And that's what we have for now. So December 11th, we want everyone to go out and get this movie and see what I'm talking about.
We will see. You know what? The good thing with you when I hear you talking is that I already see the movie. You know, I already see it. I'm going to have a great time. And guess what? You don't need to wait that long now to listen to the song because we are going to play it right now, the moment that the whole world, the whole universe has been waiting. This is a wonderful track called Running from My Roots by a wonderful friend and talented Janelle Arthur. I'm sorry, it's my accent, you know. I read it Janelle, but it's Janelle Arthur. Please listen to this wonderful track, and as said, our dear friend Gabrielle Evans Fields. The movie will soon be released in December. It's called Running from My Roots. I want you to know, Gabrielle, and I want you to know, Janelle, that this is your show. This is your radio. This is your time. You can call anytime. We will talk about the movie again, I hope, around December. And also, we're going to play again and again this track because I know the audience will ask for it. We love you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
My name is David Serero. I had the pleasure to have today over the phone the very talented Janelle Arthur from the movie Running from My Roots. She wrote the song which we are playing right now. She's starring in the movie. And also, we had the wonderful producer, Gabrielle Evans Fields, from Several Line Music. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much.
Got my keys loaded down Mazda, hugged my daddy, kissed my mama. One last turn down that gravel road. Past the church at the caution light, drove by the hometown sign, but I didn't plan to come back soon. All I ever wanted was to be free. When my feet left the ground, I thought I had the world in my hands. I'd live on love, and I knew enough to never look back again. I thought I was ready to fly, but I was just chasing the wind. What I want and who I am, I thought I knew, but I was just running from my roots. New faces, crazy weekends, all-nighters trying to fit in. I couldn't hear my conscience anymore. I forgot who I believed in. The new me just wasn't me, and I started to miss the girl I was before. Yeah, I guess the grass ain't always green. When my feet left the ground, I thought I had the world in my hands. I'd live on love, and I knew enough to never look back again. I thought I was ready to fly, but I was just chasing the wind. What I brought me back to where I was raised and to one last turn down that gravel road.
Every journey, everywhere in Ireland is always within reach, behind the wheel of a 191 BMW. Because right now, every BMW is available with reduced prices and 1.9% APR on selected models. Find out about the full range of offers at discoverbmw.ie or contact your local retailer. Finance subject to status, over 18s, Irish residents only. Terms and conditions apply. A guarantee may be required. BMW Financial Services Ireland DAC is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.